Hey guys, Dr. Ben Galyardt here, author of the book Rebuild Your Brain, Stop the Damage, Start the Repair. I run the Functional Medicine Center of Fort Collins, and we work with patients on a lot of different conditions. And if you've worked with me or heard me speak ever, you know I talk about blood sugar a lot. Blood sugar, it's a passion for me. I've seen it be such a dramatic effect on somebody's life if we can change that blood sugar. So many people think about blood sugar, oh, high blood sugar is bad, you get diabetes. They're calling it type 3 diabetes now, Alzheimer's, causes neuropathy, causes inflammation, heart disease, all types of things we know about high blood sugar. And most people know some of the things that are going to contribute to high blood sugar. The sweets, the carbohydrates, the grains, a lot of those white potatoes, all those type of things are going to spike up that blood sugar. What we don't talk a lot about and don't think as much about is the low blood sugar. Low blood sugar has, just like low blood pressure can be just as bad as high blood pressure. Low cholesterol can be just as bad as high cholesterol. Low blood sugar can be just as damaging, if not even more damaging, than high blood sugar. So let's go through the physiology of what happens when blood sugar goes low. So basically, the glucose levels start to drop down, and the body, especially the brain, needs that blood sugar, needs that glucose to be working as well as it possibly can. So what happens is the body goes on this red alert. It's like, oh my gosh, we've got to get more glucose out into the bloodstream, especially for the brain. And the way the body does that is to stimulate the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are these small glands. They sit on top of the kidneys, and they're going to respond to stress of any kind in the body. And blood sugar is a stressor, especially low blood sugar. Think about 1,000 years ago, you're hunting and gathering, and you go 6 hours between finding berries. What happens? Well, your blood sugar starts to drop. If it gets too bad, you're not going to be able to find your way home. You're not going to be able to remember where berries are or anything else. And so the body stimulates the adrenal glands. They kick out information to the liver. The liver is where immediate stores of glucose are. So that liver can produce glucose that it's been holding on to that was stored from excess carbohydrates or different things in previous times. It's going to kick that out. It's going to raise up that blood sugar. So if that does it once in a while, a few times a week, whatever, not going to be a big deal. But if that's happening over and over and over and over every single day, guess what? That's going to be very stressful to the body. We always say the top 2 reasons why people still have adrenal dysfunction, adrenal fatigue, even though they're taking supplements, doing all these things. Number 1 is blood sugar, especially low blood sugar. Number 2 is what the brain waves are doing. There's specific brain wave that we look at, the alpha wave. If that one's going too high, that's going to create that fight or flight, sympathetic dominant response. So those 2 things, low blood sugar and high alpha, are the 2 keys that we look for with people that have chronic adrenal fatigue. So every time that blood sugar drops, that adrenal response is going to kick in. This is why most people wake up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep. So think about this. If you're going along and that blood sugar starts dropping in the middle of the night, guess what? Adrenals kick up. You've got this adrenaline flowing through your body. You wake up and you're like, oh, my brain is buzzing along, thinking. But guess what? It's not just because you have a lot going on. We've all got a lot going on. Life is chaotic in today's day and age. But if that blood sugar is going up too high in the middle of the night from those adrenals kicking out that glucose, then we have adrenaline flowing through us, and that brain, that body is just going to get into this state of, oh my gosh, I'm awake, I'm revved up. But what is that actually from? It's actually from that dip that's happening. So we look for multiple things. In the blood work, hemoglobin A1C, it's a diabetes marker, but guess what? We use it to determine if there's dysregulation of that blood sugar. And so a lot of times, if we see a low blood sugar with the A1C, but we're seeing some other markers that's going high, that's the person, they're doing this throughout the day, up and down, up and down, up and down, and that's going to create a lot of that inflammation as well. The research shows every time that blood sugar dips and every time that blood sugar goes up too high, you've destroyed more tissue. So if you got Hashimoto's, You destroy more thyroid every time that blood sugar goes up or goes down. So what do we do about low blood sugar? Well, that's why we do our blood sugar monitoring. In my new book coming out, we're going to be able to go through this in-depth process with everybody and show you guys what you need to do. So that should be out this fall. But with the blood sugar monitoring, we're able to see how long somebody can go before it starts dropping down, how much fat they need, how much protein they need, how much carbohydrate they need to be able to keep that blood sugar as stable as possible. Certain foods are going to do better and not let it drop down as much. There's a lot of different activities, different things that are going to contribute to that blood sugar not being able to stay as stable as it can. So what are some of the symptoms? So hangry, everybody's heard that word lately. It's hungry and angry mixed together. And if you have a spouse, you probably know it. Maybe you bring a little candy or Snickers or something and say, hey, eat this, you're getting cranky. So that's one of the symptoms. Energy drop in the afternoon. So a lot of people, 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon, they start crashing. Why? Because that blood sugar went up after lunch and it starts crashing down. Then we look at brain fog. We look at memory not being as great as it should. We look at just not being as sharp as we need to be throughout the day. You start stabilizing that blood sugar, we see phenomenal results in people. Even within the first 30 days, they're feeling dramatically different. So we've got to start stabilizing that blood sugar, but we also have to gather data, and that's why we start checking that blood sugar and start getting a feel for why it's going up, why it's going down, how long it can hold, all of those things. So low blood sugar is crucial for the body to stabilize on a lot of different levels. If we keep crashing down, it's going to be creating inflammation, it's going to be affecting the immune response, it's going to be affecting the adrenals, energy, all these different things. So for our patients, it's not just about high blood sugar. I see way more people that are low blood sugar than are diabetic or pre-diabetic. And is that just living here in Colorado, or is it just the stress that the bodies are under and the stress that we're under in today's day and age? Hard to say, but we know that there's many people that we start checking their blood sugar on, even though they're very far away from diabetes, and have phenomenal results figuring out how to stabilize that blood sugar. So if there's anybody that you know, or your spouse or family or friends that are dealing with these blood sugar issues, tag them in this post. Start stabilizing that blood sugar. All the symptoms, everything that can come about from it can be reversed very quickly. So share this video. We'd love to educate more people. If you have any other questions, drop us a line, send us a personal message there, or a message in the video, or you can call the office and we can set up a consultation as well.